I'm no socialite, but I have a social life. I'm not just anybody. All jokes aside, are you up? Cause I'm down, down, down. Money trees out the ground, smoke on surround sound. Don't wait for me now. Double cash, make it go downtown. Wanna smile and make it go downtown. Whipping 40, let me know right now. If you with it, let me know right now. She left me and I know it's on a heavy. 750 more horses than a stampede. Yes, please, on the trains, they refresh me. Giuseppe Gretzky, I own a jet ski. Yeah, we have a fashion show inside the studio. We with a motherfucking at the booty-o. I'ma get my beat up in that booty-o. I'm on it, that bitch, you know. Bitch, I'm no socialite, but I have a social life. I'm not just anybody. All jokes aside, she gon' eat it, go ahead and chow down. Money pool, we can drown, drown, drown. Ass jumping like a bounce, bounce house. Couple M's and I'm around. Double cash, make it go downtown. Wanna start and make it go downtown. Whipping 40, let me know right now. If you with it, let me know right now. She left me and I know it's on a heavy. 750 more horses than a stampede. Yes, please, on the trains, they refresh me. Giuseppe Gretzky, I own a jet ski. Yeah, we have a fashion show inside the studio. We with a motherfucking at the booty-o. I'ma get my beat up in that booty-o. I'm on it, that bitch, you know. Bitch, I'm no social.
In too deep.
You're singing for the people now?
That's what he'd be like. That's what it'd be like.
Welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
We are here.
Oh,
Sorry we're a little late. I had a lot of computer issues to get this
Not-
popping.
We're actually very not sorry. Sam's just trying to be too nice.
I genuinely feel bad, so get out of here. Like that.
Well, how are you boys feeling on this Saturday night? We've gotten a lot of music lately.
Yeah, it's been a big week.
Snapping of music.
After a couple weeks of not having big weeks, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like we definitely had it was a good time to not do a show for 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now we can just come back with a bang. Honestly, though, a lot happened, but in my opinion, it was a little underwhelming.
We're going to get into some bangs, aren't we?
This week was a week a lot of people were looking forward to. And, didn't hit like I was hoping. So,
Or it's 2 weeks from now when you get to see if Montero himself will change the game.
we'll get there. What are you guys drinking tonight?
I just popped open
Montero.
a twisted tea because I could not
Ooh, the
find my
tea.
motherfucking... What is it? What is the brand that I even get on a regular basis? I forgot.
You're a Mike's Hard.
No.
Or was the...
Oh, I guess it was Mike's Hard Half Nap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Mike's Hard. Whatever.
Okay, yeah. Because I saw Mike's Harder, and I was like, the last time I drank Mike's Harder
On
on
the show?
stream, I got a headache, and I didn't feel like it was a good show because of how quickly it got me turned. Like, I didn't like, you know what I mean? If it was like a
I
gradual
liked it.
thing.
I remember that night.
No. Because if it was a gradual thing, I wouldn't have been like screaming, you know? And like, I was definitely screaming that stream. And I was like, all right.
In a good way.
No.
In a good
Always-
way.
Always more fun when you're more lit, you know?
No.
Yeah, we're
So
always
this is
having
going to be a
fun.
more gradual situation.
Yeah, slow
Yeah.
burn.
Because we have a lot to get into. Honestly, for those that, you know, for Sarah, for the people coming,
Yo, apparently the stream link is misspelled in our tweet.
No, it's not. What the fuck? Well, I did it. I did a second one actually. It's not. Notes unavail. Oh shit! I dropped it.
Unavailable.
Fuck you, Tim. I'll do it again.
Look, Sarah's got her eyes open like that.
Oh, was that Sarah that picked that out?
Yeah, she.
Thank
hit me
you.
up.
You really do hold us down. You know that.
Yeah.
She knew where to go though. She was like, "Look, I already know."
She knows where the dogs are at. She got the notifications on. Don't worry.
She was like, "I do."
All the homies got notifications on.
She said, "I do have the route. I know where I'm supposed to be at."
Yeah. Oh, let me pull the stream back up.
Look how quickly. Look, I can do this very quickly. Have this up and bam. All right, you hear me?
I believe you.
Bam.
I trust you. If we're talking about what we're
Yeah.
drinking, I have one of these Miller guys that I always drink. I like
The
that they
Miller
have a
guy?
screw cap. What about you, DJ? What do you have? What mixed drink do you have? I feel like that's what you're always rocking with. Oh, a claw.
That ruby.
I've never had a White Claw. Oh yeah, that's a lie. But like, I've never had one on my own. I guess.
You've never had a White Claw and enjoyed it?
Cracked it open. I don't usually enjoy them, but I have them because I had
They're
a
not
kickback.
bad.
This is what somebody bought for that kickback, so I'm drinking all of them. So
Yeah, it's a good
it's a
exactly that. It's a good drink to just like put out at a party because like literally anybody will drink it. It's like it's a seltzer, you know. Like how is someone gonna be like, ew, no, like I won't drink a White Claw. Like
I mean,
no one
I,
would do
you
that.
know, if you
Me, I don't like the taste of seltzers.
But Marcus,
I don't like the taste.
you
It's
pull up
just-
to a party.
Yeah.
You pull up to a party. The only thing they have is seltzers.
okay, first of all, I'm leaving that party. That's not a good party. But
Period. Period. I was about to say if I didn't want to sound like that person, it'll take much for me. It'll take much for me at all to leave a party.
But
now.
I feel like it's a good thing to have
I
at a
just gotta
party
find
because
one
literally
problem.
anyone would drink that.
I gotta find one problem and one problem only.
I mean, but the thing is, like, okay, so are you saying that more people are more willing to drink White Claws than they are drinking like beer
Yes.
or like anything?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I put one down
100%.
before. Absolutely. I put one down before I even touch a beer. Absolutely. The beer is being wasted. Don't give me beer. It's being wasted. I'm taking a sip. I'm putting it away. I'm throwing it. Like, do not. You're gonna be mad. Don't.
Marcus, you would think you were like in a fraternity or something.
He wasn't.
Which is, yeah. Thank you. I actually was about to shut my mouth now. Thank you, Tam. Thank you. Okay. All tweets. So, all right. You guys can retweet the correct link.
The real one.
The real ones.
For real this time.
Hooters Air. Pause.
You never heard about that?
No.
The game was changed when they got rid of it. Alright. Big announcement. What are we announcing? Oh.
Yeah, Tim. Get the fuck. Like, come on.
I'm just joking. Alright. Now that we're here. Hey,
Okay, yeah. I'm off here.
yeah, who are you?
Let's take a celebratory sip.
Yeah, take a celebratory sip and then tell me who you are.
Tell me who you are.
Let me actually get that open just because I don't want to say things wrong.
Well,
I know who I am, but
first one,
there's more
yeah,
to
first
say.
one is just who you are.
Look, Tim. Let's not do this.
Hey, don't say my name. And that's my turn. You already ruined it.
All right. One second. I host the show. It's
All
fine.
right, I'll go to sleep. I'll wait.
It's okay.
Maybe
Maybe if
another
you
hour.
pulled your end of the bargain, if you just alley-ooped, I can, come on now.
Who are you? I'm
Hold
alley-ooping
on.
it. That's the first part.
Hold
I literally had to
up
say it for
on.
you last week, if you remember.
Tim,
So you're
Tim,
saying,
actually, Tim,
Marcus.
Tim, calm it down. Tim, calm it down.
Yo, who's
right,
got
thank
it
you.
playing in the background right now?
Probably DJ. Yeah, look at him.
Who got you
Why he-
smiling like
That
that?
him lying, like that him lying too.
Who got you
lying.
smiling like that, DJ?
Oh, that's funny. Who got you smiling?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Myself.
Ready, guys? Okay, let me read this down.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay, ready? I'm Marcus.
I'm DJ.
And I'm Tim.
and you're watching No Unavailable, your #1 music, entertainment, culture connoisseurs coming to you live for another fine Saturday night.
We hope you guys are doing well because we are great and we're here to deliver another fantastic show.
Let's jump into it with some new music. Now, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's some artists that dropped albums this week. You know,
A couple.
couple underground artists you guys maybe never have heard of.
Can you tell us who they are, Tim? Because I really never, or any of them, honestly.
Yeah, one of them is, how do you say his name? Kanye?
Quinoa.
Quinoa East.
Quinoa East.
And Drake.
I was gonna say the same thing. Drake.
Yeah, Kanye and Drake. Obviously, if you haven't been on Twitter,
You don't even have to be on Twitter. Haven't been on the internet. Like,
yeah, if you're living under a rock,
all over it. Facebook, I'm sure somebody's uncle on Facebook's probably blowing up.
it's probably
Like,
saying Donda this, Donda that,
and Instagram
Donda
surely
this.
is going ham about
Donda
it.
chant.
Yeah.
Donda,
All right, so-
Don D's
All right,
nuts,
all
you know,
right,
all
all
of them.
right, all right. Let's get into it. So, yeah. So these long-awaited albums, these albums that have been, rumored to happen, and then announced, and then pushed back, and like both of them literally pushed back 3 times, maybe 4. Yeah. So now we have them. It's a full week of music, 2 albums that you can put quite clearly head to head. I wouldn't necessarily, want this for the state of music, but
people are
I'll
doing
say
it.
this. People are doing it, but here's the thing. If they were better albums, I would have an issue with it. Now I feel like let's talk about it. Cause
Yeah, why do you think they're not good albums? Or I guess
I'll get into some things.
Why do you think they did not hit the mark that you wanted?
They are not great albums. And if you're gonna push it back 3 times, and
They
you're gonna
better be
talk
great.
about it, like it's gonna be the next big moment, the next thing, the next hit, this, that, the other thing. Like, I feel like Kanye was coming off of Jesus is King, which was very not received well. And so this Donda was supposed to be like it. Man's had 3 listening parties. This album was supposed to get you out your parents' house, get a job, get a wife, get a set of kids, get a new car. This was the album that was gonna do that for. I mean, not for me, but for Kanye fans. For Kanye
it certainly
fans,
had the energy of that Life is Pablo era, right?
Yes.
Like it had the anticipation.
yes,
It had the cultural relevance. It had all the eyes.
leading up to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Leading up to it, and it did not give what the Life of Pablo.
And I'm not gonna say that it's absolute garbage, because there were some things I heard and I was like, I can get behind this. I can enjoy this.
You know what we're gonna get into today?
What?
We're really gonna start defining what good albums are to us and like what we expect. Because I really figured it out, and I think I started to say this a couple of shows back when we kind of talked about this. But I really figured out like what ingredient needs to be on an album for me to consider it like not only a great album, like that was a great album, worth my time, and something to revisit. I have like one type of song that needs to be on the album for me that also if other things are met, right? Like, but just this one thing would be like, okay, no, this is like it.
Yeah,
I want to share that with the people.
One thing I also want to say too is that there can be a great song on a bad album.
I was about to say. So here's the thing. Let me just say this, okay? Because you might hear, and I'm not going to speak for DJ, but you might hear from other people or DJ, I don't know, that, this is a good album because of these songs. And I really feel like, just like what Tim said, there can be good songs on a bad album. And for me, the way I consume music, and I don't think a lot of people do these days, especially because I was seeing on Twitter how people, they were like, it's too long, tell me the songs to pick out, which I get.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's also like...
I've been there. I'm there a little too much, to be honest. And that might be a flaw for me.
My thing has been, like, ever since I started... I mean, I don't know, after the self-titled like Beyonce album in 2013, where she almost like commanded you to listen to it, like you had no idea it was dropping, right? And she commanded you to listen to it. I was like, I really gotta start like listening to these in order, and like not waiting for singles, and not like letting like that determine like my likability, like not letting what the masses are gravitating towards to defined what I like about an album. But let me be clear: this is only for albums that like I actually check for. Because I check for every single album release? No. Like there's dozens of albums that release on the same day every single week, every single Friday, and I'm not checking for them. And I probably and of the ones that I even hear about, maybe I rely on their singles or I rely on whatever social media is talking about. I'm specifically talking about the people that I'm checking for and that are kind of like capturing the culture. So yeah, I tend to listen to them in full, and I really do care about a body of work because at the end of the day, I'm someone that, you know, when I'm listening, I tell you my first listen of albums, I said this before, I sit in bed or I lay in bed and I listen to the album and I like fall asleep into it. And I feel like if you can like not make me fall asleep, that's not like, I don't want to make you, but okay, in my kind of state of like laying down, if in the beginning I'm paying attention, that's good. If in the middle I'm starting to be like, oh, I want to get up because now you got me hyped, like there's a song to like get in the club, you know what I mean? That's good if you made me get out of bed. And then towards the end, if you kind of like lull me back into like a place of like, you know, where I am able to like drift off to your words, like that's not saying that you put me asleep. It's literally like, but you kind of did, but it's not saying that was a bad thing that you put me asleep.
Kind of like puts a bow on the.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. But my criteria for a good album is cohesion. So I need it to be cohesive. I need something, like I need to be able to take away from the album like, yo, this either meant something or this was like a snapshot of where you were at the time of this making of this album, or this just had some type of theme. It doesn't even have to be like this major hit you over the head. It doesn't need to be like, you know,
cohesive narrative, each part connects. It doesn't need to be to Pimp a Butterfly. It doesn't need to be Lemonade. It doesn't need to be like these conceptual albums that like, you know, have this whole thing to it. It doesn't need to be all that. It just needs to have some type of like threading, right? Like some type of like, okay, I know why I'm here. And the last thing that I'll say that I realized last night was, or maybe earlier today, I want a song on there that's like introspective, that lets me peep into where you're at, and it's over a really good beat. And a recent album that I've been talking about nonstop, right? Planet Her. When I think of a song like that, what do you think of? What song off of Planet Her would you say that is? If you can't think of it, that's fine. I'll just tell you what it is. But you know, if you can, what do you think it would be? Anyone? Love to Dream?
No. So I'll tell you. Been Like This.
Oh, I forgot about
Been Like
that
This
song.
goes. And when she's talking on it, like when she's like rapping and when she's just like,
she's talking to us though. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I feel like
no, I forgot about that song.
I peeped into like what Doja's about. You know what I mean? At least at this point in her life. And then another song that like, I just feel like okay, so another song I'll give like it happened on another song, on another album that I really loved, Ungodly Hour from 2020 with Chloe and Haley. I forget which song it was, but I just know Frank is good for that. Frank Ocean. Like, come on, like that's what I'm saying.
He's good
so,
for that.
He's great for that. He's a couple only. He's 3 that are like that. So
yeah. He's built for that.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like those are the albums, and I said this before. Like Blonde, I was listening to for such a long time. I stretched out Blonde. I stretched out these albums that I'm talking about, and that's what makes me stretch out an album, or those kind of tracks. Like, what do you? So that's what I want to ask the panel here. What is the thing when you're listening, and you can say I don't listen to albums in full, right? Like you can talk from that as well, but let me know like what's that thing that will make it so that you know that this is an album that you'll be revisiting, and not just saying it off of the hype of it being released, because I feel like that's what a lot of us are falling into.
I feel like for me personally, especially after listening to Donda and listening to CLB, like it was more so like I wanted to take this seriously. I knew we were going to talk about it and review it, you know, kind of break it down and like how we liked it and like kind of do some slight comparing and contrasting. So I really wanted to take it seriously and listen to both albums. And I listened to Donda, and I really enjoyed a lot of what Kanye had to go for there. Like I personally really love Kanye's production, and that's why I'm a big Kanye fan. It's like I'm listening to Kanye because I know he's gonna give me. Same with Drake in a way. It's like they're both gonna give you great samples. They're both gonna give you well-produced projects. They're both gonna give you music that you know is something that you know hopefully will be memorable over a course of time. It's just maybe is what they're saying is really the big important piece. It's like is what they're saying really gonna resonate with you or resonate with whoever they're trying to communicate with or who their audience is. And some songs are gonna hit and some songs are gonna miss. Like, you know, Kanye and Drake are gonna have their like their gangster shit songs, like their songs for like the hood community. They're gonna also have their song that they know is gonna get played at a wedding. You know, they're gonna have all variations. They're gonna go all the way across the gambit. It's more just kind of like who you are as a person that you can really connect with in their music, and how much and how that will really play into whether you think it's a good album or not. Personally, for me, I think they're both great albums. I think they both resonated with a lot of things that I feel like I personally connect with, and a lot of things that I feel like I can connect with in the future, and a lot of things I understand watching both of them grow as artists. I feel like I was able to understand their growth throughout these albums, especially Drake. I feel like listening to CLB a lot and like kind of like diving deep into the lyrics, like you can tell that he was kind of giving that snapshot that you were saying, Marcus. Like he kind of gave like a nice little snapshot of like where he was in his life, kind of what girls he was dealing with, what women were problematic in his life at the time, like whatever he wanted to deal with, or whatever we were talking about. Like that man was stuck on Houston. Some girl in Houston got that man locked up. I don't know what's going on, but Drake really is down for some girl in Houston. But
I don't know if I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't know why people say that.
Cause no, listen to the middle of his album. Listen to the whole middle of the album. Listen to TS.
I'm saying I don't know why people say that because that's not new. He's been stuck on somebody from Houston since Houston and Vegas. Like since
he's down
since
bad.
he's been like that.
Yes,
He's been like that. I don't understand why that's literally being cited on all over Twitter. I'm like, do y'all know who this man is? He talks about this every single album. So here's the thing: are we hearing the same things that we've been hearing, and you're just saying it like it's new?
Is he
because
just reliving
he's
his
been saying
past?
this.
Is he recanting?
DJ, say all of what you said, but give me specifics of like what you are connecting with, what is resonating, what is like, what in their lives. Like, just give me like the thing, because you're saying a bunch of like, oh, some of these things. You're not telling me what. What is it? And it's, what are we, 2 days removed from CLB? So that's my thing. It's like, it's okay if we don't know yet, but just say we don't know yet. Like, say that. Like, I'd rather people say that versus like, this is that album because of this, because of that. I listen to, and I want to hear Tim's point, but I listen to this Twitter Spaces of like a bunch of like rap heads, you know what I mean, like hip hop heads, talking about this album, and they actually had women come on the Spaces and like talk about their point of view. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, finally, you know what I mean, have like different perspectives going on, because some things are gonna hit for the women, some things are gonna hit for the guys, whatever, right? And I'm listening to them, and a lot of them are gassing the album too, and I'm like, guys, let me be clear. I was the main one when he first dropped the title, Certified Lover Boy. I was over here like, yo, this is about to be it. But I allowed myself to conceptualize this album for him. And I don't know if I shouldn't have done that. I just feel like he didn't meet where it could have been. You're naming this thing Certified Lover Boy. I want to hear you swoon. Or I want to hear, here's the thing. I said this when we did the video. I said you can go two ways about this, and I don't think he did either. You can either swoon, you can be love sick, you can talk about like where you're at, where you failed in relationships, where what you learned, all that stuff, like why you're still single, like why you may or may not want a family. Like, you can talk about all that stuff, right? Or you can flip it and be the certified fuck boy and be like, I'm never getting, like, I'm always gonna be this, like, blah 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 blah. Or maybe it's gonna take that one girl to wrap it up for me, and I still ain't met her, and like violate. But he didn't do either, and it didn't even feel like he stuck to like the title of the album. Like, I do not know where everybody's like, oh my god, he's talking about this girl Malaya, or whatever her name, Malaya from like Take Care. Are we talking about her? No, because people
because he hasn't been doing it like that. Maybe
y'all, like, I'm so tired of.
He hasn't been out here to really be a lover boy like that. No,
obviously we know, Tim, that's not true, because he just took the old girl from that's LeBron's son's Bronny, his son Bronny, his teammate mom, to that stadium. I forget where it was. I later found out it was in
SoFi Stadium.
United States. It was like the Dodgers one. Where was it?
It's the Rams Stadium.
Rams, okay. Like, so he's on some like courting stuff. You know what I mean? He's still doing that. And I think we saw he was at the game. She's there, looking thick, right? Walking across the court, and he picks her up right after. Like, we literally see pictures of them at the game where they didn't seemingly know each other. And then the next week, he was taking. So why didn't he speak to that? He doesn't even. My thing was, he used to be talking like very openly, and like that's how we know some of these women's names. That's how we know where they worked, strippers, right? Like, we know the girls by name. Like, he used to be so like that, and he didn't do any of that, which again is fine. but he didn't even speak to those feelings or who he's seen. Like, you can talk about your like love life without even talking about your love life, like without even like delving into like who it is. You can just like talk about like kind of. He didn't do any of that, and this is called Certified Lover Boy. So you can take the concept either way, and I don't understand how people are like, yeah, this is up there. I don't know, like blah blah blah. So we should have gotten since blah. This y'all, this is sitting between. This is like sitting in Scorpion territory, and I don't know. And I wanted to be like, oh, but it's like in between Views and Scorpion. But like that, there's a lot of distance between Views and Scorpion. So
yeah, one of my favorite Draco. So I'll be like, that's a little bit.
Guys, no, because I need to hear it. Like I need to hear it. I feel like as I was tweeting about it, and I was obviously I'm live tweeting about it. I'm like listening to each song. And the first one, I was like, okay, intro track, whatever. Intro track didn't hit me as it normally does, Like, okay. And then I get into
I'm on board for that.
I get a little further down.
I really like his intro.
I get a little further down, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, right. I don't think I had a moment. Oh no. Then there was Poppy's Home, and that was fun. Here's why I like Poppy's Home. I liked Poppy's Home because, well, for obvious reasons, but then because, he was talking down on the game, which I like, or not the game, the rapper, but like the game, as in like the rappers. You know what I mean? Like he was talking down on like being like, you're my sons. I like that. Then you bring on the rapper that constantly tells everybody you're my son. I like that, right? Like I like that concept. Okay, cool. Then we get, I don't know if Way Too Sexy was like 4 or 3 or whatever, but like we get there. I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is very. I'll talk about Way Too Sexy in a second.
It's in the
I'll talk
club.
about Way Too Sexy in a second. We'll get there. We'll get there, Tim. We'll get there.
In a second, you got it.
But guys, I remember getting halfway through and I was like, I still haven't found a moment. I haven't found a moment. And by the time I get to the end, I remember, guys, I looked down and I had been like walking around my room. I went downstairs, like, I did the laps around the house. Like I had to kind of like get into it. And I am on the last track and I didn't know I was on the last track.
Mm-hmm.
I was on, what's it called? The Remorse.
Yeah.
And I looked and I was like, did I skip 4 songs? 4 songs. I asked if I skipped 4.
Okay, to be fair, at the end, I don't know what it was, but like that last like 1/3, they all kind of ran together.
DJ, 1/3 is more than 2 or 3 songs. Like, let's get into it.
No, okay, I know that, but I'm saying I still would listen to 2 out of them. Like, I'm not saying they were good songs, but I said that they weren't skips.
1/3 of 21 is not 4.
Well, I'm saying that I will listen. Okay,
you're 7
numbers. You're bringing X numbers.
7 songs.
Well, yes. 7 songs.
You're saying right now that 7 songs was like, I don't know, towards the end. But then you said 2 out of 3. Come on.
My skips came in that last 1/3. That's what I'm saying. I listened to the first half of the album, and then the moment when I guess that turning point where I actually like heard a song that I feel like actually made me bob my head was No Friends in the Industry. When that came on, I was like, okay.
Isn't that 5 or 6?
It was a while in.
Let me check.
Pull up the track list, Tim, and start talking.
I'm pretty sure it's actually like number 10 or 11. It's a.
Oh my, Tim, I want to hear your opinion, Tim.
No Friends in the Industry is 12.
Oh,
is the middle.
My God,
that was my first. That was the first run through though.
That was your first head bob.
Was the first head? Yeah, my first head bob was No Friends in the Industry.
Really?
I wasn't enjoying.
Tim, read the track list real quick, and actually only do it up until No Friends because it's
Champagne Poetry, Poppy's Home, Girls Want Girls, In the Bible, Love All, Fair Trade, Way Too Sexy, TSU, In Too Deep, Pipe Down, Yeba's Heartbreak.
I lied.
And then No Friends in the Industry.
I lied. I had Bob at TSU. The second half of TSU I really like. I actually really like TSU. But then after TSU, it was definitely No Friends in the Industry.
Y'all, it felt like a commitment to this album. It felt like I was working through getting through it. And here's the thing. I'm trying. This is me. Like, this is the narrative of like, I'm not trying to like completely shit on it because it's not a horrible album. I'm not,
it's
but
not.
It's not one of his, it's not even. It's not close to his best. It's not even mid in his, like, because okay. So off top, right? For me, I put Nothing Was the Same and Take Care up top. Yeah. Then I put like
I would say Views would be third in that.
Views would be like, I don't know about third. I mean, yeah.
Views definitely is up there.
Views is third, I'll say. I'll say The Debut is down.
If we're reading this, it'll be one more down.
people swear by If You're Reading This. I never cared for If You're Reading This.
I like
that.
Energy. Energy is such a good song.
But here's the thing, I'm kind of hating.
Yo, what's up,
because-
Paul? Tell us what you think about Drake.
What's up, Paul? Yeah, like let us know, because I could be smoking. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that.
No, say it.
No, because it's a wild phrase. I'm not gonna say that one.
Let's get wild.
I'm not gonna say that one. It's a wild phrase.
Yeah.
But Tim, I want to hear from you seriously, because to recap for those that are just joining, I was really anticipating CLB. We're talking about CLB. We're gonna get to Donda. We're gonna talk. I was really anticipating CLB. I thought we were, you know what I mean? We didn't even do new music. Let's just talk about it, guys. Like, you know,
These are the two new. Like,
okay.
anything else that came out is irrelevant right now.
Did you know that Soulja Boy dropped, and who else dropped? Bobby Shmurda dropped.
But nobody's talking about. No one gives a shit. So like, we're not gonna talk about it.
Okay.
It literally could have been the hottest track they've dropped ever in their whole career, but the timing, no one cares.
They better hope for their sake it was like weak, you know. But anyway, so I'm talking and I'm saying, hey, I had really high expectations. CLB, Certified Lover Boy, it could have been a concept, not a concept album, but a concept. I said this before, check out our video on YouTube. I literally say this word for word. I said,
Paul, you didn't miss too much not listening to Drake.
You.
Just saying.
Paul, listen up. Ready? I said you could do two things with this album title. You could go the route of like, hey, Certified Lover Boy, I'm gonna talk about, you know, everything going on with me, everything going on, like reminisce about, you know, all my past dealings with women. I'm gonna talk about why I'm still single. I'm gonna talk about, you know, having a child and what that's, you know, like living that kind of life, but then also trying to like be this, like, you know, Papi Chulo playboy, you know what I'm saying? And then like I'm trying to, you know, woo these women. I'm trying to swoon. I really thought in the beginning it was not the beginning of the album. I thought in the beginning of him announcing it, I thought it was going to be more R&B focused. He does not have but like 2 R&B people on this whole album, and there's no like how Certified Lover Boy, and it's not R&B focused.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? And honestly, he could have done the R&B route with the other concept that I was talking about. So the one concept is being the lover boy. The other concept to flip it is to be the certified F boy. He could have went down and saying, I am, you know,
I'm playing these biddies.
Planet.
Yeah.
I'm playing them all. I'm always going to be this way until I find this one girl that's going to hold me down, but I still haven't met her yet. And y'all are going to keep getting ran through. I'm going to keep showing you I'm this great guy and then keep losing my number. Like, it could have been on that. Either way would have been a fire album. Fire. I'm telling you, either fucking way. But he didn't do either. And I'm blown. And you have 21 songs, no real direction. It's bloated. It felt like a chore to listen to. That's what I'm feeling. So now I want to hear again. DJ, I'm gonna ask you again, and then Tim, I really need like to hear some points.
I'm waiting for a pause to give my voice.
DJ, what specifically resonated with you that you felt like this was a album that can sit amongst? I don't know. You like? I'm not gonna put any more words in your mouth. You tell me, please.
Honestly, the samples, the beats. Marcus, you give me
Okay.
Give me that face. But
samples and beats are great, but that's not Drake.
Okay, well that cannot be Drake, but that means that's still an album that, you know, that's still a beat or some type of a composition of music that was put under his name. So I have to listen to the album to listen to that composition in general. So if I like a sound or if I like a beat that is on someone's album, I have to respect that is on someone's album.
I get you. I get that.
I'm gonna make him a playlist of all the samples used. And I'm gonna just let you listen to that since you have nothing else to actually.
Paul says the Too Sexy sample is hitting, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like Too Sexy because of the sample. I like 7 a.m. in Bertle's Path because of the sample. Like just the college, like fucking I don't know what the cheer is, but the cheer in the background of that beat is phenomenal. I don't know. Like I would guess you're looking at me, Marcus, like I'm supposed to know pop culture like that. I guess you know what the fuck it is.
The
but
cheer.
I don't know.
Like audience applause, like.
No, in 7 a.m. on Bertle's Path. I don't know what.
The cheer. Oh, like yeah. Whatever.
Team, but like that beat's amazing. In Too Deep, I love the beat of In Too Deep, but I don't the song, like the songs. I feel like his lyrics, like I could have dealt with. Like Drake just always sounds calming on a beat. Like I can listen to him sing The Night Away, but if it's on a beat, that I feel like. But all I'm saying is if he can ride a beat, and if he's on a beat, Yes, there were In Too Deep kind of pissed me off low key because I didn't understand his flow and the way he was on it didn't make sense to me. But I liked the beat.
Tim,
I listened to that.
Tim, are you listening like I'm listening right now?
What you're making?
Tim, please.
Why are y'all making?
Please, because apparently it doesn't register when it comes from me. So please, if you know what I'm talking about, please just tell him why that just messed up in my head. That literally was like a train. It just like. Please tell me. Please tell him why I am blowing it when he just said. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
So if the beat, you're saying the beat is. I'm gonna repeat what I heard you.
I'm sending it to
DJ.
you.
No, I'm gonna repeat what DJ said. In much shorter terms, the beat was fire.
Right.
Drake was not riding the beat.
No. That's not okay. So you missed a step.
No, then say it again.
He said, listen. He said no. He said, I love the beats. I think that Drake can ride any beat. I do not like In Too Deep after just saying he liked it. I do not like In Too Deep because I don't know why Drake like did it like that. You just said he could ride any beat, and you love the beat. So why are you saying right afterwards that you hated it because he wrote the beat wrong? What was that?
Okay, I guess that was very poor communication. I apologize.
DJ.
I guess the proper way to say it. Then let me explain myself. Okay, I know sometimes it takes me a while to get there and understand exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm like 5 shots in and I'm like a white claw.
DJ.
Damn, let me finish what I was gonna say. Let me explain fully what I'm
Explain
gonna
it.
say.
I haven't even gotten to my points yet, so
Exactly.
explain it.
And Marcus gonna come at me all of a sudden.
DJ.
Never mind. Tim, just go.
No.
Thank you.
Started talking.
Oh, okay. So Marcus like has a lot of prerequisites for like things hitting album wise, and like I'm okay with that. I'm here for that. For me, I'm a very simple person, and if I'm listening to a song and it invokes a feeling in me, that feeling could be anything. Feeling of enjoyment, a feeling of this, that, like that it fits a pocket that I will want to go back when I want to feel that. Like, for example, if there's a song that's like, oh, this is like the kind of music that'll make me want to get up and dance. This is the kind of music that'll make me want to like be pre-gaming with my boys. This is the kind of music that'll be like sad boy hour. Like, it invokes a feeling. There weren't a lot of songs on, and I know we're talking about CLB right now, but there weren't a lot of songs on either albums we were talking about that invoked a feeling. They were just songs that they might have had things good going for them. Like, Kanye is a great producer. I will not let people say otherwise. Like, I'm never gonna say that he's bad. Like, he's clearly a talented individual with that, and like, yeah, he's good. But if it doesn't invoke that feeling, I guess I'm more. I can't really put it into words. Like, it just like, if that feeling isn't invoked, then I'm not gonna see myself go back to it. Like, maybe I'll hear it again eventually, like someone else will play it and I'll be like, oh yeah, that song is pretty good, but it still won't be a song for me that I go back and listen to. And that's just how music for me works. There are some songs that can invoke that feeling that I'm like, damn, I could listen to this on repeat for 3 hours straight. And I've done that with certain songs. Both of these albums, no song did that for me.
Not one.
Not a single song. And that's not to say that there aren't good songs on the album that will fit these pockets like I'm talking about.
And that have their environments, right? Like that have like, oh, if you're going to be here, you want to listen to this one if you're going to be here. But not one that I can sit down and be like, I want to listen to this on repeat.
I'm going to keep it a track. I'm going to keep it a stack. There were a few on Donda for that, like that for me. Like remote control on Donda, and
I couldn't even remember how that goes.
Remote Control and Moon are 2 songs that I feel like I could listen to repeat and be perfectly content with.
I remember
I
Moon.
listened to Donda once, not even like, you know, once, and I listened to CLB 1.5 plus like re-listened to Way Too Sexy a couple times.
That's
only bad bitches get Way Too Sexy.
That's what I was about to say. That is not a song that I will revisit when I'm alone. But if that comes on like at the club or at some
Declare.
like the game has changed. Like
Declare.
everyone's gonna be looking around.
He goes, ooh, okay, all right, okay. I was like, like,
Oh my god.
like that's the thing about Drake that I love so much. It's like,
Paul, I'll get behind that. I'll actually get behind that with just to react to chat. With Donda, I would say the best song on the album was Jail.
Jail also is very good.
yeah.
I felt a little how I said I
something with
didn't feel
Jail.
how I didn't feel I felt a little something. Jail Part 2? No. The concept of the Part 2s on the whole album,
Oh my
honestly,
god.
I think is stupid. Like a Part 2 is good when it's like Father Stretch on My Hands Part 2.
Thank you, Tim. When it's
But when it's Jail Part 1 but with the baby, then
with
no,
the baby.
it's not
thank
good.
you, Tim. Thank you,
It's
Tim.
not
Thank
a
you, Tim.
good
Now,
Part
Tim.
2.
Now Tim's speaking. Come on, like yes, like.
Jail
Like, so
Part-
thank you, Paul, for saying that because that's literally
Yeah, thank you, Paul. That's a
literally
good.
what's going on here.
That's a really good contribution there because
Yes,
honestly,
and
that's what
I'm loving the chat right now. They're all hyping up. Like Jail is definitely the best one. On
Jail
the
was good. Listen. Kanye's vocal performance on Jail is really good. Like
It is.
like it was really good.
I was not
Like,
expecting him to be like that too.
I really enjoyed his vocal performance on Jail. I really enjoyed. I'm not gonna start like capping or anything. I really enjoyed that. The whole thing. I heard someone say this album was made like obviously in the stadium, right? And it's being reworked on nonstop. And I told you the first time. I literally said this on the show. The first time that he didn't put it out, but had the whole like everybody thinking that it was coming out that day,
yeah.
and then was just like, all right, bye. Like when he did it the first time, I was like, he's just listening to people's reactions. Like he just wants to know what hit, what didn't, because he's not finished.
Mhm.
It was not even a full project. And I said this at the time. I don't even think that it was started more than a month ago. Like I think that he like literally just started.
Like it
Now,
was all made in the stadium.
Someone
Like
can
maybe
say,
he had pen to paper or maybe a couple half beats made before he was in the stadium.
Someone had said, oh, like I think I don't know if it was Chris Brown or somebody that was, because a few people were on this album, but some people were saying, oh no, actually the person I would just get to, Andre 3000 had said that he recorded his verse, I think last year. So I'm not saying that like, you know, he started, you know, beat one, bar one, you know, note one in freaking June or something. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like he didn't have kind of a full kind of project or like in mind until
maybe,
this summer.
Maybe 60 or 70.
Not even that.
You think he?
Not
I'm
even
saying
that,
it
because
was just made
at the time of the first stadium is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Can I get into this tweet that is actually very it just came out?
Sure. I know we're
today.
kind of going back and forth between
Yeah, we are.
both albums. Like, let's before we talk more about Donda, is there any like final thoughts we want to do? Like,
Yeah, I do.
CLB
I want to
wise?
say two things. I want to
Okay,
say.
let's do that, and then let's go back to Donda.
All right,
Just to
thanks,
keep us a
producer.
little
Thanks again. You know,
organized.
you're right.
And
I
then
want to say
also
this.
we could like kind of cut this up and put it somewhere. Continue.
I want to say this about Drake's ad libs. I think that he does ad libs so much better than, like, for example, like Amigos, like all the other people that do ad libs that are known for the ad libs. Here's why.
Mama.
I think that his really feel like part of the song. Like really feel like, oh no, this is like the song. Like when I listen to, okay, that's right. Okay. Like when I listen to that, like that's not without the verse. Like you start like when you look up the lyrics for it, that is going to be like part of the lyrics.
That
like,
won't be in parentheses.
It won't be in parentheses.
It
won't be in parentheses, Stevie. Like that's part of it. It's part of it. You take a couple bars off of that. Like that, it's part of it.
Yeah.
So I really love his ad libs. Second thing, listen, I'm disappointed. I'm gonna keep it real. I am disappointed. I went into the album really excited. He pushes it back to 2 a.m. I'm pissed, right? I'm pissed. I start playing it. I don't need to be gripped by the first song. I don't need that. I'd like to. You know, I was on Tuscan Leather, but you know, it's fine. I don't have to be gripped right away. But as it kept going on, I was really trying to find something. And then he does like corny shit like the Girls Like Girls one, right? Or Girls Love Girls or something. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't like Girls Like Girls that much. But...
And he says like the corny ass 2010 bar of like, oh, you a lesbian? Me too. We were saying that in 6th grade. Like everybody was saying that 6th grade. Like stop. Like
I love
stop.
the
Okay,
memes
look,
it
you're right.
made. I love the memes it made.
You hit the nose on that one because when I heard it at first, I was like, "This sounds a little middle school."
Look,
He's
Drake
such
is
a
in
child.
his big puffy sweater era, bro.
Like, come on. So
I
that
guess,
was
I don't-
that was so boring to me. And then oh, I'm keeping real. I was saying this on Twitter. I don't want to forget this. I'm really tired of his collaborations. I'm really tired of them.
I have some stuff to say about collaborations once we get to Donda and maybe to wrap it up.
Okay.
But I don't.
Because-
I want us to like tie a bow on CLB like by itself before.
Yeah.
So.
So my thing with the collaborations is just, he could do, like I was saying, this could have been that R&B album. He could have got some like Jasmine Sullivan. I was saying like I don't think he should get SZA because there's things with SZA where like apparently, you know what I mean. So maybe not SZA, even though that would be great. But like, he could have gotten. I don't know.
Yeah, the only
so, like,
female artist on it was his lesbian ass for the whole thing. So.
We had that Yema heartbreak.
That was good. No, we got Yep. No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got Yebbas, and that was true. No, absolutely. We're not gonna forget that. But like, I just feel like there wasn't enough R&B. Like he could have done that. Like that's what I thought album was gonna be back in January. I'm disappointed. as a Drake fan. This is not one of his stronger projects. And he really thought that this was gonna be like that one album that was like gonna
Magnum opus.
tie it all up. Magnum opus.
Yeah.
Like you cannot, you cannot like talk ill of this legacy. And it's like, we can't talk ill of the legacy. The legacy's been written, but this ain't the album that you want to end it on, my guy. Like this ain't the one.
But
So get back in the lab.
Leading up to this album, though, they were all saying that it was a rap album and not like the R&B album. Though, like I feel like all the rumors that came out about this
No,
album, everybody was
when
like,
it first, I remember the first talks of it, and it was like just, and it was like, yo, Drake's gonna be in a different thing. Like he's gonna like, I was listening. And I was hearing, like, as we got into the summer, I'm hearing, you know, this verse and this, or this rap verse and this blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm hearing a bunch of collaborations that just, listen, it could have been something else. It wasn't. I'm disappointed. I wanted something that I didn't get. It's fine, right? Like, he can make what he makes. I'm not the artist here. But that wasn't it. That's all. I'll wrap it up there.
What was that snippet? I guess last thing I want to say. What was that snippet that we heard? Was that even on the album?
Which snippet? We listened to a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, it was. No. What was it?
Remember we really loved that one snippet?
Yeah, and I thought
Was it Fair Trade?
Yes.
It was
fair trade.
Okay.
It was fair trade.
So at least it came through with the snippets.
Yeah. I had high hopes.
Any last thoughts on specifically Certified Lover Boy? Obviously, we've had it for
What about
a
you,
day.
Tim?
I don't know. I said a lot of things I was gonna say. Really, I didn't get a feeling out of all of it. I liked the one Lil Wayne verse. I thought that was really good.
Wasn't spaz.
He went crazy on that.
spazzed.
Literally, when you guys like texted in our group chat, right? I wasn't a diehard fan like the two of y'all. I went to bed the night of. I did not wait till 2 a.m. I was listening
That's
to the
fine.
next morning. I'm listening to the next morning, and you guys are texting about it. And I literally was about to reply, just being like, guys, I'm still recovering from the Lil Wayne verse. Like, I'm telling you, like, I literally had just heard it when you guys were texting, and I was like, I can't talk about anything right now. I'm still recovering from
Wayne
that.
spazzed.
Like that was, he did not need to do that for this album, because we know how this album didn't
Look,
do
Papa
what it
Drake
needed
got
to
his
for
spaz
me.
on Drake's album. It's just-
But that, I was like, I forgot he could do it like that.
you can't.
You better
forget-
don't forget, because his feature run has been crazy this past.
It
2.5
has
years.
been.
It's been crazy.
It has been.
It's been crazy. All right,
Well,
DJ.
now,
Last
people-
thoughts on
Oh,
CLB.
it's spazzing.
Last thoughts on CLB, DJ. Before we wrap it up.
I thought it was a good album. I thought it was a good Drake album. Definitely top 3 in my opinion. I enjoyed the songs, and I danced to them. So
You have yet to defend your opinion on top 3, but I'll let you have it. You have yet to defend it, but okay.
you always want me to defend my opinion, but you guys want me to wrap things up quickly. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I don't
Then
know
how about this? I'll give you a shot clock to freaking to really defend this shit. Like, please tell me why this is a top 3 album. Why? Like, why?
What
did
is
you-
it better than? Off the bat, off the top of your head, what is it better than? If it's top 3, there's clearly something you think it's better
I'm
than.
not prepared to answer this question. We'll move on to the next segment.
The debut album, it's better than. It's better than Take Care. After Take Care is Nothing Was the Same. Not better than those two. After Nothing Was the Same, It's Reading Is Too Late. Not better than that one. If you're after the reading.
Well,
Is Too
no, he
Late,
said
it
it's
was-
not, I'm only saying you gotta say it's better than at least something. if you think it's top 3. Like, you don't have to list off every album sans 2 albums, but like, what if it's top 3?
I'd rather just give you the top 3 then.
Okay, then give me the top 3.
I'd rather just say it's Take Care, Views, and then this one, in my personal opinion.
Okay. Marcus is thinking hard because Nothing Was the Same wasn't even on there.
Nothing Was the Same gets a 4th.
Okay.
I don't think that you. Okay.
I wanted to know. I was curious. The people wanted to know. They wanted to hear it.
Let's move on. Let's go to Donda.
All right. Talk about a first song not gripping you. What the actual fuck was Donda Chant? Please.
Donda
explain.
Chant is, you have to understand it as this was a symbolistic,
Tribalistic.
What?
So I went to look up I forget why I was looking up something about I was looking for the leaked track, which we can get to that if we want to talk about that.
I'll get to it right now.
I was looking for the leaked track. I couldn't find it. I typed in Donda to then put in leaked track. The first thing that popped up was chant meaning. Does it have a meaning?
Yeah.
It didn't for me, and honestly, I love a good intro that's done well. Let's look at Ungodly Hour, which I stand by. I freaking love that album so much by Chloe and Halle. They did their intro where their heavenly voices, they were just like kind of harmonizing on the track, and then the intro goes into the next song, Forgive Me. I love when that is done well.
Well, that sounds like something I'd want to actually listen to.
And this was not that, as you love. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Like, this was just not that. Like, listen, he started Donda Chant off, and I knew what I was getting myself into. I was like, okay. All right.
Look, Marcus, I'm more innocent than you. I'm more innocent than you. I heard it, and I was like, wait, is he gonna sample this voice? Is this gonna lead into a beat? Is this gonna? And I was like, okay, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I'm getting ready. I was thinking it was gonna be like Panda. I was gonna be like, Donda, right? And I was ready for that. We got none of that. We got this big saying Donda for 8 minutes or however long, if not even for like a minute and a half, and
it was more like this. It was like Donda.
Yeah, it was so varied, and so I was like,
Donda.
It felt like a vocal warm up for like your local theater group is like Donda. Yeah, I was like, okay,
Donda.
Like,
now, does the meaning of it being his mother's heartbeat change how you guys think about it?
You better cut it
is that
out. I watched.
Did Mr. West himself say that to the public?
No. And Kanye stans will do anything. I'm not saying DJ is a Kanye stan. I'm saying that the Redditors will make any excuses.
I wasn't ready to get here,
we're
but
going to get into it.
We're going here already.
We're getting into it. The Redditors will make any excuse for this man. Oh, guys, actually, if you go to 128 and you play it backwards, and then, oh my God, say the word red after she says Donda. And I'm bored. How
do we know that it's her heartbeat?
It's not.
No, I want to hear DJ back it up.
I don't know. It's just shit I see on Twitter and Reddit, but like I don't know.
DJ.
I believe it if it's true, but I want to know how it's true.
I don't want Reddit and Twitter to be the third co-host. I don't. We can talk about what they're saying. Co-host. No, because DJ's not giving me the third co-host.
I'm giving you I'm just literally telling you things that the people might not know. Marcus, why do you always come at me? Because I don't give like straight opinions from my head. I can tell people the things that I see on Twitter and other pop cultures that other people may not know. I could be the informant of the news.
DJ,
I don't have to always be.
None of this stuff is confirmed. It's all fan theories, and you're not even letting us know. Hey, I saw this thing on Reddit, and maybe this is a theory. You didn't say it like that. You said, well, what if I tell you that was actually our heartbeat?
Okay.
I don't understand why this is becoming a DJ analysis at the moment. But...
Because, DJ, I would love to hear what you thought about the Donda Chant.
Do you think
not
it's her
what
heartbeat?
Reddit 202 thought about Donda Chant.
Do you think it's her heartbeat?
No,
I'm asking DJ, and like I'm not. If you say yes, I'm not gonna.
Personal opinion. I personally don't give a fuck because I skipped the jail. I just listened to it for 2 seconds and I skipped the jail because that's what I care about.
Like we all did. Continue.
I care about hearing Donda every 5 seconds. That's my opinion.
and another thing.
He just skips the jail.
Another
He
thing.
skips the jail.
Marcus, another thing. They can say this. They can do that all they want. Was Kanye really out here? Was he really out here recording his mother's heartbeat to then sync this chant to?
I don't think that. I think that would be more symbolism than like the literal like heartbeat of her.
Yeah, but then why are people saying that's what it is? Like,
Hey Tim,
he just made it up.
Tim. Yeah. Especially since the frequency of the chants doesn't even line up to an actual heartbeat. Like that danda. Danda danda danda. Who's a regular heart? Go to the cardiologist.
A regular ass heartbeat.
What heart palpitations are you going through?
Yeah,
But it has to be a reason for it at the least, you know.
It's not, and that's okay.
I will give you the reason.
How about this?
I will give you the
How about
reason.
this? It doesn't have to have a reason. Tim can tell us a reason. It doesn't have to have one. It can literally just be. Go ahead.
Kanye West is so far up his own booty hole that he would do something like this. There is no other artist in the world that would do this. You will not catch the first track on Certified Lover Boy be somebody just saying some shit over and over again.
He doesn't have the vision.
Like, clearly Drake is playing checkers and Kanye is playing 4D chess with the multiple
8D, Tim, 8D.
How many dimensions can you get in your chest? No, but, and I'm gonna say the same thing we're saying about this with Donda chant and whatever that means. I really just think that oh, hi Andrea, thanks for coming through. We're talking shit about Donda.
Talking shit. Welcome to the chant.
I already forgot. So
land it, Tim. Land it.
Kanye fans are the only people that will do something like this because this man puts himself on a pedestal, right? He's on his own pedestal. Then the fans put that pedestal on another pedestal, meaning he's so high up in their mind's eye, they see this man that everything, every tiny little thing he does, that even if in his eyes it's just like, look, this is just a thing that I'm gonna do, they're gonna unpack it.
I push back on it a bit. I think that has to do with all stands of every artist. I've seen it from countless artists.
Okay,
I would say the same. Here's the thing. I get that
this group is bigger and more vocal than any other artist.
I wouldn't say that.
You don't think so?
No. I wouldn't say that. I think that they are so like obnoxious. But I've seen a lot of obnoxious things. Like, I've seen many a stands do this. Like, a lot. Like, I can name all of the artists that have these stands. And at the same time, all of these artists, at least the ones that I can think off the top of my head, like, I know Taylor Swift stands that do this. Okay?
Marcus, are the Drake... Okay, look. If Drake fans were like Kanye, or if the Drake stands were like the Kanye ones for this kind of unpacking, then they would be saying that because, well, you see, on the Certified Lover Boy album art, there are 12 pregnant women emojis. Therefore, Drake has 12 children on the way, one for each month of the year. They each have different sweaters on, varying different colors, meaning on the color spectrum. What? Are they like that?
That literally was a theory. That quite literally was a theory. Word for word what you just said.
Okay. Can you come to my house right now and choke me out? Because I never want to see that on my timeline in my life ever.
Tim, they're all bad. They all do this. I literally seen the exact thing. Word for word what you just said. I've seen that.
If you think Drake has 12 children on the way, if you think that he's out here just impregnating women just to put it on his... They're emojis. Sir.
All right. Let's get into the thing that I really want to get into, which is...
They're emojis. Get out of here. Marcus,
Andre 3000. Andre 3000.
I
really want to get into this. The leak. Now, this is not the Donda album.
Quick recap.
Yeah, okay. So
what happened?
Right. So the Donda album gets released.
Both albums mid at least. Now go what you're saying.
No, sorry. Mid at most.
At most. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Marcus, continue.
Okay. So the leak. Who knew that there was an Andre 3000 record that was scrapped? That's wild.
That was scrapped.
That was scrapped.
You had the baby on your album, and you chose to scrap Andre 3000. It's
so I'm gonna read
my guy.
So okay, let me actually say what happened. So, Donda gets released. Obviously, the shenanigans happened before Donda, which was the leaking of the address and the text message and the Trippie Redd record. All that stuff happens, right? The beef happens. Donda gets released. I want to say 5 days before CLB, and then CLB gets released, and there's shots at Kanye, and then after having the last word, Drake then has not on OVO sound, but like 42 radio or something I didn't listen to. Like I was not like actively listening to this, but it was maybe it was like last night. Did Donda come out last night?
Donda?
Or not Donda, sorry, CLB. Or was it 2 nights ago? I'm trying to remember. What is today?
It was Thursday night, 2 a.m.
Friday night. Okay. So it was like kind of 2 days ago, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
Basically.
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
Technically Friday, but
right. So this night, right. So this night, last night, while we were all asleep, Drake was playing the album on the radio, like on the internet radio. Played a new record that he's going to be featured on. I forget whose. Another new record that he has in the
throwaway.
No, it's somebody else's. Oh yeah. CLB throwaway. Another CLB throwaway. Yes, there's another CLB throwaway by himself. Which why? Like you just put out music, because again he's realizing the temperature. All right. And then the third thing.
This album didn't have any singles, by the way.
Yeah, but let's get all right. Let me just finish this. So
that's all I had to say.
Then the third thing was this Kanye record that was done for the Donda album with Andre 3000, like one of the best to ever do it, right? And on it is a Drake diss from Kanye, but more importantly and more notably, one of the most verses from Andre, and probably one of the most verses I've heard from any rapper in a long time. Why? Because he understands the assignment, folks. The album was supposed to be about this man's mother. It was supposed to be a tribute to her. And while there was very sentimental and personal verses on the album, a lot more than I'd say that came from Kanye, I feel, from his features, this one felt like, oh, this is the album. Like, this is the one that, like, defines the album. This would be the one, if Kanye stuck to the assignment, that I would say, oh, this is the one that you kind of revisit because this kind of sews up the album very nicely, like I was saying when I started the show, right? That would be that album. Because Andre says that and I'll read what he wrote because he references why this is even released and everything and how he sees it. But on the track, he raps to Kanye's mother, Donda, to ask her to talk to his dead mother for him and what he would want to say to her. I was blown away. It was so good, and it was such a good way to attack this kind of like concept, and like nobody else did that, and like some other people did like kind of talk about like the afterlife and like other worldly things, like heavenly stuff and like that, and that's great, and I love that like part of it, right? Because it kind of met like the assignment. But I just felt like he did it so well that how do you leave that off? I'll read what Andre has to say. So, one of the best rappers to ever do it says, a few weeks ago, Kanye reached out to me. Oh, a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago. So literally the album was made in June. Like this album was literally just made, okay? A few weeks ago, Kanye reached out to me about being a part of the Donda album. I was inspired by his idea to make a musical tribute to his mom. It felt appropriate to me to support the Donda concept. We love a fucking artist. By referencing my own mother, who passed away in 2013. We both share that loss. I thought it would be a beautiful choice to make a clean album, but, and he's referring to the fact that Kanye obviously made a clean album where like there's no explicit version of it. And he said, I thought that would be great on a clean album to do this. But unfortunately, I didn't know that was the plan before I wrote and recorded my verse. So he's saying he found out afterwards that it was going to be a clean version of the album. Like only clean. He then goes, it was clear to me that an edited clean format of the verse would not work without having the raw original also available. He says he couldn't basically give the full concept if it was going to be, censored. So sadly, I had to be omitted from the original album release, which sounds like it was more of his decision to be like, I don't know,
Mhm.
you know. He then goes, the track I received and wrote to didn't have the diss verse on it. Now let's pull over real quick. Kanye's verse on this track that you hear on the leak, and you can find this on Twitter. It's not hard to find at all.
All right, good.
Yeah. Kanye disses Drake on the album, and you can actually read for like the lyrics on it too. Like you can.
Yeah,
like,
I
do
read
that
some
while
of the lyrics. Yeah.
So he disses Drake on the verse. So the track I received and wrote to didn't have the diss verse on it, and we were hoping to make it a more focused offering for the Donda album. But I guess things happen like they are supposed to. So basically, he's saying, I guess it didn't release, and I'm glad for that, because if he were going to be on some bullshit and put that diss on there when he has a good relationship with Drake, he's going to get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
What was the point? Because it was supposed to. All right, let me not. Because I'm a little frustrated with this because it was that good. Jesus, it's unfortunate that it was released in this way. He's saying it was unfortunate that it was
that Drake leaked it.
That Drake leaked it this way. And also, can we talk real quick? Real sketchy in the music industry how many people have their hands on other people's music. Real sketchy.
Yeah, why does Drake have it, and why is he leaking it?
I heard this one thing from Taylor Swift one time, and she was really upset about her albums being leaked. And I think 1989, she said that the entire album was on a USB drive that only she had, and she carried it around, and it ended up being like one of the most popular albums that she ever made. And I was just like, you're so smart. And then Beyonce, I think Beyonce did something similar, but because after she had like all of her album 4 leaked, so the fact that artists, at least of that caliber, are not like the only people to the key, like what is going on?
And I feel like they definitely have they probably have so many different systems and drives and communications and different.
If you care enough to be like, no one needs to hear this until I'm finished, you will make sure that this is all on one USB. Because you
thing that Taylor did. That's actually really smart idea.
Very smart. And I like always respected her and her music after that. Like, I always respected that about her.
Yeah.
Since I found that out. Anyway, sorry. It's unfortunate that it was released in this way. And 2 artists that I love are going back and forth. I wanted to be on Certified Lover Boy too. I just want to work with people that inspire me. Hopefully, I can work with Kendrick on his album. I'd love to work with Lil Baby, Tyler, and Jay-Z. I respect them all. That's the last thing he said. I quote tweeted and said, both of them wasted his time and energy with their dumbass beef and shouldn't be forgiven for that. I was pissed when I read this.
He could have graced them with his presence.
I don't think you guys need to listen to it because it's that good. Like
I'll listen to it.
It just makes sense. Like
I wanted to listen to it. I just couldn't find it before. But no, I'll check Twitter.
Sorry,
I'll find
reactions.
No, Andre. No, honestly, it's really shitty that Andre didn't get to be on either one of these albums because literally there are so many people that
he's too good for them.
We didn't even mention that there are so many people on both of these albums. Like there were a lot of cross contamination from both of these albums. Literally, it almost seemed like they used the same pool of features.
Talk about it.
That's actually a serious thing that I feel like I
Let's
realized.
Talk about it. This
Future double dipped.
They Future double dipped.
Lil Baby
album.
Lil
Baby double dipped on both albums. Let me pull this up.
Lil Durk double dipped.
Lil Durk double dipped. I'm bored.
I'm gonna be honest.
Jay-Z even double dipped. Like what the fuck?
Let me say this right now. Jay-Z. Jay-Z's an instigator. Instigator.
Okay, honestly, this seems like a dick measuring contest for who's got the better features from which artists. So they're pulling from the same guys because it's like, no, I want to be the one that had the better.
And all the artists
Jay-Z
are like, yes,
feature.
my projects never sell this much. Thank God.
I mean, yeah, I'll take the bag for being on both of them. Like, why not? If I was one of these artists, like, I'm not in the center of this beef. Let me take Drake's money. Let me take Kanye's money. I'll be on both of them. But like,
even Kid Cudi. How could I completely forget that?
I was surprised about that, Kid Cudi. Especially because 2 things. Drake has 2 people on this record that he is openly not necessarily beefed with, but like he's disrespected and like they've not been good. He had Jay-Z on the album. They've had problems, very notably, and he had Kid Cudi on the album where he like had some bars for him that were like on More Life. That were like not good. Like
I'm very shocked because I feel like Kid Cudi and Kanye and Kid Cudi and Jay-Z. Kid Cudi and Kanye and Jay-Z are like this. So it's just really shocking to see like
Kanye and Jay-Z are not like.
Oh my bad.
Kanye and Jay-Z go
Not
in and out of that all
anymore,
the damn
yeah.
time. They are not.
They fluctuate.
And let me tell you this. I'm gonna be real. And if this ever gets clipped, when I'm, let me just say this.
Say it.
I think Jay-Z is an instigator because I don't think that Jay-Z likes Drake. I really do not. I have not thought that for a long time. And I'm talking 2015. I peeped that. He's not like Drake. Also, because they have bars to each other, and it's like sometimes it's not even just like on some like this is part of the game shit. It's like Drake's like Jay-Z don't fuck with Drake like that. And I think that Jay-Z was not good with Kanye up until like literally the stadium shit. Like maybe they like got good like within that week, because remember it was all like Jay-Z guys verse saying last minute. Like that doesn't happen if you were already going to be on the album. Like I think Jay-Z saw that Kanye was getting that wave back like on The Life of Pablo, and he's like, yo, like let me make good with my guy again, and he hops on that track. And I think maybe the Drake thing was already in the pipe, but I don't think they really know each other like that. Like I don't care to analyze too much. I just feel like I know a lot, having been someone that like follows this stuff heavily, right? Like I'm following this and following that, I'm watching this, I'm watching that. I'm like, it's not hard to see that they don't really fuck with each other. And I just think that Jay-Z came out on top here. Like I think that he is a little bit of a little instigator, and I think that he made sure to be on the 2 most popping albums of the year, and
he's on one of the best tracks on Donda. So
yeah, and like I'm still trying to wrestle with like I don't like his track on CLB at all. I just think that it's more billionaire talk that's like so disconnected from anything. He was just talking about like, yo, I'm 1 billionaire now, we got 2, something like that, referring to him and Beyonce, and it's like, cool,
yeah, that was actually one of the few skips in the beginning, but
now there's skips in the beginning. Now there's skips in the beginning. Okay, all right.
Marcus,
now there's skips in the beginning.
Marcus, calm yourself. Have a sip of your tea.
I'm off that twisted tea. I'm off that twisted tea.
Yeah.
All right.
Marcus
all right,
twisted off the tea.
About? So listen. We were talking about Andre. I'm pissed. I'm an Andre fan, right? I enjoy.
Who's not?
Well, come on. I'm an Andre fan, and I think that I genuinely, I said his time was wasted. Like I think this beat. Oh, this is what I was gonna say about their albums. Something that happened on Something that happened on Scorpion. I heard. I'm always hearing things. Like when I tell you I keep my ear to the streets, I keep my ear to the streets. Scorpion reportedly was supposed to be a different album than it ended up being, but because of the Pusha T beef, it was almost completely scrapped, and that's why most of the album is like Mob Ties and like all these like other songs that like are just basically like diss songs of like you know what I mean, just feeling like on edge. Like the whole album, I was really hyped for that album as well. That's the thing. I made sure with this album not to do what I did with Scorpion. I got really excited about Scorpion, and I was like, you know what? This is it. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Marcus, listen to the album. Like, really, like, if it's not a hit, like, really listen to it this time. So I really listened to it this time, and I saw immediately, I was like, I'm getting there, and I'm like, Like I told you, Certified Lover Boy should have been this thing that it should have been. I told you that. I also gave Drake enough time, because that video was made back, I don't remember when. It was made months ago when we made that video about Certified Lover Boy. He could have been took that.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's like close to a year ago now.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 2020 we had because we had this conversation in preparation for the January release.
He fumbled out back. I gave him concepts. Anyway.
This man has had a heart on his head for too damn long.
So, I think this album did the same thing that Scorpion did, which was it just became an album that like it wasn't meant to be, right? Like Scorpion became an album that if the Pusha T beef never happened, it wouldn't have been an album. You know what I'm saying? And like obviously, right? But like really delve deep into that, because if you're going into something and saying, let me tell you something. Nicki Minaj's album Queen ends up being, in my view, ends up being completely different than what it should have been because of that like Remy Ma shit. Dead ass. And so it comes off, and the Cardi B things. More about that, sorry. More about the Cardi B thing. Here's why. Because the whole album just feels like you're on the defense. And like, that's fine. Like, do you still develop bops on that? Sure. I love, like, there's bops. I revisit the album, right? But it still feels like I'm on defense. And when you're on defense, I don't get really, like, I don't it's hard to get into your vibe when you're on the defensive, right? So I'm feeling like Scorpion was that same way. Was there, what's the damn song? Like Nice for What? And like, what was the damn song that City Girls? Kiki, do you love me? What the fuck is the song called?
In My Feelings.
In My Feelings. There was a really Bob's on Scorpion. Of course, I'm not like we're not saying it, right? I'm saying that when you're on the defensive, when you're making music, it just comes off like because oppositely, I'll say when Drake was. I mean, Drake's really never been on the defensive until okay, oppositely, when he did Nothing Was the Same, he didn't have no competition out. Nobody was like actively coming at his neck, right? What did he make? A masterpiece. Because it felt more like he was able to make music. He was able to make music. He was able to stick to a theme. He was able to be in his own head and not worry about trying to get at everybody. Did he still get at people? Yes. But it wasn't about that. And this album feels like he's just trying to get at something. It's like, I'm bored. I'm bored. My light went out. I'm gonna change that. Somebody talk. Somebody talk.
I thought DJ was gonna talk. I mean, you just said a lot.
And talk about like, you know, like what do you think about that? What do you think about those concepts that I just brought up? Come on. I think you.
No, I get it. Like, these two albums are gonna go down in history, like, and be known for the fact that they came out so close to each other and the fact that they're surrounded and shrouded in this beef. Like, they don't exist out. I don't think, like, they're gonna be thought of that way. Like, there's no like, I don't know, I don't want to say like in between, but they won't exist outside of, like, it's a moment, but not in the way that we like to say that something is a moment. It's a moment because it's like the Kanye versus Drake, the Donda versus CLB. Like, it's always going to be viewed that way. I feel like both of these albums are always going to be viewed that way. And like we said with all these features and that they're double dipping, like, what happened to like letting like your work like speak for itself, or like you like taking this where it is, especially if you're beefing with someone, like, and they're competing about like who has more features or like who has the better feature from this artist, it feels like at some points on these albums. Whereas like if you're really beefing with someone, have no one on your tracks and drop an album that does better, because then you could say, I did that, I made that album that was better. But like, people are gonna say like, this guy carried on this song, like,
especially for someone
that Lil Wayne verse went crazy, because it did. And then like if that song does well, they're gonna say like it's because of him. Like, and it's like, nah, if you're really beefing with Kanye, or especially like if he's talking about how this is gonna have a bunch of features, then Drake can like drop a bunch, like an album with not a lot, and then see if he takes off with that and really like makes it his story, especially with the way this album was framed. And like Marcus talked about it, like, yeah, there could be some good features on it, but I feel like it should have been a very him focused album,
especially from somebody that can be versatile enough to like, you can sing on your tracks, you can rap on your tracks, you can be like, you know, melodic when you want to.
So like he didn't need all of those features, but he just did it because it's this battle with Kanye where both of them are like accumulating these features. They're like literally playing chess. It's like Lil Baby is my bishop, and Lil Durk is one of my pawns that I'm throwing out there, and Jay-Z is my knight. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, like, we, like, off everybody, like, we have a better song from each of the collaborations, and I don't want to belabor this point too much, but I'm just gonna say this, right? We have a better collaboration with Drake and Durk already. We have it already. We have countless Drake and Future collaborations. We have countless Drake and Ross. I didn't.
They got a whole album.
Record. I don't need the Drake and Ross record. We had one literally earlier this year.
Yeah, keep Lil Wayne, get rid of Rick Ross. Didn't need that.
I'm tired.
I skipped to 30 seconds
tired.
I'm not gonna lie, get rid of Rick Ross one, but I enjoy personally Drake, Travis, and Drake Future.
No, Travis. That's the thing. I keep forgetting. Travis was so unnecessary. So unnecessary.
He was actually very boring on Fair Trade, which honestly disappointed
me. When we heard the snippet
Did you
of
just say that Travis was boring on Fair Trade after just saying that he liked that Travis was on Fair Trade?
Okay.
And he's not on Fair Trade because nobody's on Fair Trade but him, right?
Let me rephrase.
What do you mean?
I feel like
nobody's on Fair Trade.
No, Travis is on Fair Trade.
But didn't he? Okay, sorry, I may be wrong about that.
I'm sorry.
But didn't you just say?
I really need to fix how I communicate, because my brain, how I think of things comes out really weird. How I speak them out. But I guess how I would explain it is I enjoy Fair Trade, but that is a very boring Travis verse for usually what I am used to from Travis.
I was ready for that song to be a solo track after hearing the
Me
snippet.
too.
It didn't need somebody else on it.
DJ.
Also, Andrea said she's taking notes of what Marcus says to then share with her coworkers. Which I find very funny.
That is funny, Andrea. That's funny. That's so funny. She's about to be like, really, like on the 8th track, I didn't really feel like.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Travis
so
really
funny.
didn't need to be on that.
I really love that. That is so
Yeah.
funny.
So I hope we can do that for people.
Yeah. No. Yes. DJ, I hope by the time No Unavailable is 4 years old, like, and we like,
Oh yeah, for the people that think the show's done, it's.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Yeah. Don't think
DJ,
we're gone.
DJ, when this show was like 4 years old, I really hope that by this time, first of all, maybe I'm still like, what is the phrase called? Something about your balls or something? Busting your balls. I mean, I'm just hoping that bust your balls just because like that's like the dynamic, right? But when it comes to like voicing exactly what you think, you're gonna be so much better because I am going to keep pushing you because you have thoughts, but like, why are you contradicting yourself? So my thing was, you just said, like, I was just saying, like,
No,
the reason why I said that Travis was not good on this track is because you said that Travis showed up here, but then you said that you didn't like Fair Trade because like that was Travis' weakest verse. So like, what do you actually think?
No, I think what he.
I told you. That's what I said. I said to rephrase it. I enjoy I can listen to Fair Trade. I think it's a good song, but I do think that Travis was underwhelming on that song. I feel like that's what I meant to say.
And I also think what he meant in his initial thing was that he likes when Drake and Travis collab in general, not specifically Fair Trade.
Okay.
That this was a weaker collab of the two of them.
I don't think that Travis Scott is that good, and I think that people give him way too much. I think people give him way
That's a bold take.
Much. I don't care.
I know. Let's clip that and put that on social media. That'll get clicks. So say it one more time.
I think that Travis Scott is overrated, and I think that Travis Scott, one day, No Unavailable is gonna break down this numbers game. And one thing I like about No Unavailable is we don't talk like we're not like the numbers people, like we don't necessarily be like this is like great just because it sold this many, like we don't talk
sales
about stuff like that.
And
yeah, we don't really care about it.
So
we care about like how it resonates with us, right?
How we feel.
But there is something in the music industry right now that like people are getting away with shit that I'm just like, this is not. And I want to do a deep dive on that one day, but anyway, that's in the future. Where do we want to go, folks? Because we can move out of here. I feel like we've exhausted a couple points here. You know what I mean? Donda, I didn't care for Donda. Like wrapping that up, I didn't care for Donda. I'm not listening to that again. Maybe I'll listen to like 2 tracks off the whole thing.
I'll listen to Jail Part 1.
And maybe I'll listen to like Remote Control or something, whatever. No, Hurricane. I really liked Hurricane. The Weeknd showed up.
Hurricane's too long. I think that's my only problem with Hurricane. I feel like Hurricane was good, but it dragged.
I listened to that while I was working. Guys, just a little insight on what I do at work. I have this YouTube video that plays. It's like a screensaver for me because I'm gonna tell my business because sometimes I walk away from my computer screen and I wanted to say that I'm still online. So I put up this YouTube video that is just 8 hours of like a cafe. Like it's a fake cafe, like it's like
background noise.
Background. It has like cafe music, like very like light like music, and it's
like
just
easy listening almost.
Yeah, but I turn it off, right? I turn off the music, and I just have this like screen of like a computer generated cafe that has nobody in it, and just like coffee sitting there, and it's like the heat's coming off of it, and it's raining outside, and somebody's walking across the street. I love
it's almost like an ambiance kind of thing.
It's literally an ambiance thing. I'm watching it for the visual. And then I walk away from my computer and I do whatever. I make my food. I listen to my music, and I'm listening to Hurricane. And at one point, I was listening to Hurricane. I was just looking at the stormy weather outside this computer-generated thing. I was like, wow. So yeah, that's me. That's what I do on my Monday through Friday.
Hurricane is a great beat if you have a good surround system. Or if you're listening in your car, like, oh my god, the bass of that song is transcending.
It's good. Yeah. All right. So we have some things to get into. We had a lot to get into. But here's the thing. I kind of want to just jump around. I really do. I don't want it to be like
okay. So honestly, we planned like 2 like regular segments. We touched upon one of them already.
Yes.
So I'm down to like just hit a shot clock, and then we have our one other thing. If we want to save that, we can, because we've.
Listen, I have I just want to say shout out. It's Beyonce's birthday. Like we haven't been. I didn't.
Beyonce.
It's Beyonce's motherfucking birthday. Like it's Beyonce's birthday. So I just want to get that out there.
Should we like do our announcement thing? Or
Yeah,
we
I want to
say-
get into that.
You want to do that and then do our shot clock? And
I do want to get into that. I do. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything because I feel like things are coming up as far as like the Twitter sphere, wise. Kanye, we talked about Andre, way too sexy. I feel like we should revisit one more time just for a second. Cause no, we didn't. No, we talked about it. We talked about it. We talked about it. We covered it. We did.
It's
I'm gonna be in the
coming
club,
on
like-
at the club, and
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
and we're gonna turn up for it.
Okay, good. All right. And then okay, wait. So Paul has another. He's been tweeting or he's been messaging me while the show's been going. So he says, or he sent a tweet that says Kendrick Lamar seeing everybody else's albums like is. All right, I'm gonna actually retweet this from No Unavailable's Twitter. So check that out at No Unavailable on Twitter. Paul sent this, and it's very good. So basically, it's just I'm gonna
It's like
try to show the
phoning
camera
in,
too.
like on a radio show. Send us
Yeah.
tweets
I
while
love
we're
this, I love
live.
this.
Live tweeted us.
That we should actually do that. But listen, it says Kendrick Lamar seeing everybody else's albums like, is that it? And then it's this. Hopefully you guys can see this.
He's ready,
Guys,
bro.
I was watching.
He's lying in wait.
I watch a lot of content, especially like around this stuff, and as particularly on this album, it didn't actually change my opinion at all. It didn't change my opinion at all in CLB because I was able to form it as I was listening, right? And sometimes, like in the past, I used to let things like other people's opinions, but no, like all my opinions were stated here, and they were all mine. And how I know this was because I was watching this video of Academics, DJ Academics, and I watch everything. I watch everybody's video. I watch all the everybody that covers
Get all the
anything, I watch
takes.
them all.
Get as much.
I get all the takes. I'm just like, you know, what's the flavor out here? Like, what are people talking about, right? And I get them all. And there's this funny ass video of him talking so much shit. He's like, fuck this, Drake is the #1. Like, this is all before CLB comes out. He's like, like he's naming all these rappers. He's like, Kendrick, F Kendrick. He doesn't know what he's fucking doing. It took 5 years for him to come out. No, like you ain't seeing him. Drake is the #1 guy. You like he was saying Kendrick Lamar is just as good as Meek Mill. Like,
So he had some thoughts.
He had thoughts. So then it cuts to the best video. You have to. I'm gonna find the video too because I'm gonna tweet that off of No Unavailable thing too. It cuts to him talking so much shit, and then it shows him on Spotify, him streaming, right? And he's dead ass asleep towards the last third of the album. Dead asleep.
Of Certified Lover Boy?
He fell asleep on stream while listening to Certified Lover Boy.
That is amazing.
Drake fumbled the bag on that back third. I don't know what it is.
He fumbled the bag, period. You can't have a back third of 21 and 7 songs are bad, DJ. 7?
Say fourth, bro. Just start saying fourth.
All right, back
Yeah, a fourth is better. It's still too many songs to be saying that about, but
Especially in a row, you put them all at that. You put all the skips at the end.
Come on now.
Might as well have just left them off.
Come on now. Because what is that? Because what is fourth of 20? Like
5 songs.
5?
It's like
5 motherfucking songs. That's too many. Like you guys are saying the 6th of the album. You guys are saying the 6th.
Maybe 1/8.
All right, so let's get into some things. So do you want to talk about our announcement? I'm gonna retweet from Availables
You
account.
want me to talk about it?
Well, Paul took. Yeah, just introduce the idea that we're going away.
Okay, so Marcus definitely put a clickbait title. This is not our last show forever.
Yes.
We're taking a little break.
A hiatus, if you will.
A lot of break.
A lot of break. A little break would be 1 or 2 weeks. A lot of break means we're doing a little bit of. There's a little bit of change happening.
Let's talk about it.
With the show.
We can be transparent.
Let's be transparent
about it now.
I thought the whole point was that we weren't. You literally said.
I think here's what we should do. Here's what you should do. Because the people have been with us, and especially the people that have been with us this early. Like the rebrand we about to have some new people. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's tell the people that have been like holding us down for a second.
We're doing a little
moving.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah. My bad. Maybe that one we should hold off on. Okay, let me phrase it. Let me phrase it. I got you. Ready, guys?
Worse.
Sorry to be
Literally
like so
gonna
wishy
end the
washy about the
stream.
words. Listen, just listen. Sorry to be
And
so
you
wishy
say
washy
it.
about.
You're trying to get me to say it, but then tell me not to say this, but to also say that, but then not say this,
Shut the
and then
fuck
DJ
up.
starts saying something,
Can't
and
say
then you
shut
say that
up.
he shouldn't be saying that.
Tim, shut the fuck up.
I'm ending the stream. Have a good night, guys.
Right, Tim.
Okay, guys.
Marcus.
Tim. Okay, we are not going to have a show next week, and we're not going to have a show the week after. No, we. First of all, I also want to say I forgot to put this in the title, guys. We have officially, because we don't necessarily show the exact date. I'll figure it out. It's been a year of this. We've done this for a year.
Guys, drink for a year of no unavailable. Come on, go do one drink. We deserve it, guys. We deserve it. It's been a fucking consistent nasty year. We've done a great job. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Consistent is not the word I would say, but
We've been around.
We've been around for a year, and let me just say this, guys, because we actually, for those that are listening, we haven't talked about it between the three of us yet, but like, this has been a year. You know what I mean? Like we've dedicated our time to something for a year. This was talked about. So a year ago would be like, late August, early September is when this was like put into effect, when we did like episode 0 and episode 1,
We're figuring out how
when we were figuring out what the show, even like where it would live, right? Because it wasn't originally a Twitch show, it was originally a podcast, and then it turned into, okay, well, like, we'll do Twitch, podcast, YouTube, but then that became too much. Let's do Twitch and let's make a lot. You know what I mean? It just changed into all this stuff, right? We made YouTube videos. We fell off. We made YouTube videos. We did everything, right? And it's been a year, obviously a hectic year, right? A crazy year with everything that's gone on. And I just want to say, I'm really proud of us, because we could have been sitting on our ass this whole year and constantly been just talking about something. Like, for example, we had this idea to do something back in May of 2020, because I was tweeting my musical opinions, as I do, right? And then DJ was talking shit, as he does. And then he was
I
on my tweet.
actually think it was the other way around.
No, I saw this tweet the other day. No, I was minding my business, as I'm going to do. I mind my business until the only time I mind did his business, and he is so outlandish, so outlandish when I decide to say something. But I was minding my business, tweeting my opinions, as I do.
You came in that one tweet when I said that catered to you, the City Girls were down tremendously.
Because were they born yet? Like,
they were. That song.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, please.
Finish what you're gonna say, Mark.
So I don't even remember what it was. Oh, it was a Nicki thing? I think it was a Nicki thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like
so
top
as
5 Nicki
her Nicki verse.
Yeah,
Nicki verses. Top 5. Yeah. Okay, this is what it was. I was saying that I really don't like when people keep saying that Monster is this girl's best verse, because there's been 5 other verses that she's had since that equal to and surpassed. And I stand by that. Monster is so light work for her. Like, we're not. All right, anyway. Another time.
But DJ gave his take about
DJ said, basically
the impact that verse had, and beyond just the actual rapping on it.
So another discussion that we can have in the future, because it is a problem that it's only impactful because Jay-Z and Kanye were on it, and that's when people decided, I'm gonna listen to her now. You know what I mean? Like that's a problem. But whatever. So we had that conversation, and then Tim comes in around the rear and goes, "You guys should make a show out of this. Like, you guys should make this podcast. You guys should make this like a thing." And I was like, "I'll only do it if you do it too." And thus the idea was born, right?
Here we are. A year later.
Listen. No. Because then we start bullshitting, right? And we start talking about it, and then we fall off, right? Because I remember back then, I don't know about you guys, maybe you guys can speak to it a bit, but like some stuff was going on back then. Like, it was just such a weird time, and like,
we were busy. We also like weren't sure how serious each other were about the idea.
Yeah. And then back around this time, like I'm gonna say like mid-August, I was so excited about this job that I did not get, and I was so upset about it. And I really thought like this was it. First of all, I'm very glad that that's not where I ended up. God always has a motherfucking plan. But but I didn't get that job, and I was like, damn, like what am I gonna do? Like I put all my, it's one of those times when you put all your eggs in one basket and you're thinking, this is it. And that's relatable, right, for everybody. But I felt that way, and I was like, you know what? Like, I really can't. Like, I have to do something with my time. Like, I'm gonna keep going out there, right? But I have to do something with this time. Like, and I can't. And it was 2020, and I was really feeling like, guys, like, I was really feeling like I need to stop talking about what I want to do and like actually make things happen. Especially if I want to be where I want to be, right? Like, if I want to, like, one day start writing and producing television shows, like, I need to like do something that just like exercises that creative bone in my body. That's like exercising me putting out things and putting out work and actually like putting out groundwork for me to be able to say I have like things that I did. You know what I mean? Like I can create something and I can see it through and I can. So that's what this meant for me. And I look through my text messages and I'm like, I need to do this show with them. And so then I round up the troops and I'm like, guys, let's really be serious about this. They were all bored, and a year later we stuck to something and actually got closer because of it. And now we are going to embark on a new journey because of it in more ways than one. And I'm excited about that. I'll leave that where that is. Reactions before I get into what they can expect from us in the future. What do you guys think?
I think it's honestly been beautiful. I feel like this has been an amazing journey, graduating from college and kind of like going into this with you guys. It finally gave me, I feel like this show and you guys gave me like an official purpose for once. I feel like I was very confused leaving college and not really knowing exactly what I was going to do with like my creative bone and like how I was going to transform it or what I would really want to do with it or how even just to build up some experience or like, you know, be inspired to do something like this. And this inspired me just to be able to even go through things on my own, like go through my own cinematography things, or go do this by myself, or go do any other way to like expand my creativity. This show and doing a show with you guys has been a primary source of, you know, how to inspire myself and how to learn how to inspire others. And I think that's been really amazing. It's been really nice, like learning my creativity, and it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful. I'm sorry, I got briefly distracted. There's been this cute ladybug that keeps following me everywhere, and I think it's like my pet at this point.
Okay.
So distracted me for a second, but
Glad. No, I'm feeling the same way as you guys are. I'm glad that we've been doing this whole time, and I think I'm even more so excited for what we have planned going forward. I know Marcus, you said you wanted to speak a little bit on that.
So you don't want to speak to first. I want to speak to the fact that we came a long way already in a year, right? Like I was starting to hint at, like, you know, we didn't know where it was going to start, what it was going to look like. Guys, it was Krusty McCrusterton.
Yeah, shout out to the day ones that remember
I was about to say,
when
Sarah,
this shit wasn't even watchable.
Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to like all these, you know what I mean? The people that checked.
Shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to all the people that checked in early on this because it was Struggle City in the beginning.
Yeah, you literally couldn't even see us.
You had to only hear us. Like that was a time, okay? Like we really went through some shit. I remember having to lug every single like electronic down to my basement every single Friday night and just like haphazardly set things up and try to. It was a nightmare. And just off that alone, like I remember switching over and like just being more seamless and like being able to like actually view the show, right? And like having that and like that's been amazing. So I say that to say because we already did so much change and there's so much more to come. And I want to tell you guys what you can expect. Not fully get everything, you know, blah blah, but like basically just something's happening that we're really excited about. But we want to keep that to ourselves until it happens. But what you can expect is that the three of us are going to so basically the premise of the show is going to change a bit. So, you know, you guys have come to know us for talking about music and entertainment,
and that's going to stay.
As I say in the beginning, that's going to stay. We're going to talk about that stuff that like, you know, intrigues new people, you know what I mean? Just like kind of captures new people. And something that made me know that that's the case is when we started posting YouTube videos and we started getting just random people comment on our channel and start saying like, oh, like I like listening to you guys talk about this stuff and I don't even like follow this, or like, oh, like
yeah, I don't even
really
listen
cool.
to rap.
Yeah, I don't even listen to rap. Or and started engaging with us guys. When we started getting comments on YouTube, I really felt like we were doing something because I was like, oh shit, like this is what like I love the fact that our friends come and like check in on us and like, you know, spend their time and whatever, and the few other people that like, we don't know.
We live for that.
We live for that. But to have like some random ass person I literally cannot identify from like anything, right, other than a username, give me a freaking paragraph, like huge freaking story about like my opinion, like reacting to my opinion. I was like, I love this like so much. So we're just keeping that. We're keeping the the kind of music discussion, entertainment discussion, pop culture discussion. We're keeping that. We're keeping a live Saturday night show. But as we talked about, this show, idea of it, the reason why we're doing drinking games, the reason why we're talking about stuff, and the reason why we kind of keep it like to a tight hour and a half, 2 hours. It may be something different in the future, but as far as lengthwise, but we try to keep it that way was because the idea and the reason why it was on Saturday, for those that didn't really understand that, or Friday or whatever. The reason why I was on the weekend was because we wanted it to be a pregame type of show, right? Like you watch us, you get ready, you listen to the songs that we talk about, like, we make playlists for it, we talk about, get ready to, and you go out and you get busy. We haven't been able to do too much of that because of Corona. Things are going to change, right? Things are going to change.
Yeah.
We're going to have more of a focused pregame show where you're really going to be like, oh no, we getting lit. Like we're having this drinking game. We're doing this, we're doing that. We're going here, like we're doing that. So that's going to be exciting. Can't wait for that. We're looking at a gaming stream. We're excited to do that, right, Tim?
Yeah.
More on that
playing
later.
games.
Playing games like as the Twitchers that we are.
We'll have some non-music related separate YouTube content that's just on that channel. It'll be like separate videos.
If you guys are not subscribed already, please do. Just search Unavailable and you will find us, because
especially if you're our fans that are watching because you're our friends, but you're maybe not super into the music we talk about, you might enjoy what's coming from this even more. You're
gonna see. I mean, we're gonna definitely be like promoting the fact that like we're talking about other shit, but like please, like, that YouTube channel is gonna see a bit of a lot of a change there. Like we're gonna be talking about a lot. We're gonna be doing a lot. Like it's gonna be a lot over there. Okay, so make sure that you are at YouTube. And then the last thing I want to say, I'll keep it to myself for when we do the rebrand, but there's something else that I'm excited about that's being talked about. Anyway, all in all, we're having a bit of a rebrand, as you may have heard DJ use the word before, Tim used the word. We're having a bit of a rebrand, and what does that
And that's going to take
like?
a little time.
It's going to take a little time. So we're doing something that we don't want to talk about yet, but you'll find out soon enough. We're not coming back anytime soon. So we're not coming back in September, like the rest of September. Probably not October, until like the end of October.
Well, you will probably see us before the end of the year, though.
Well, you're definitely gonna see us before the end of the year. You might even see us in October, as far as like us releasing content, but it just won't be in this form yet. Like,
in the weekly,
something is coming.
Yeah.
In the weekly, yeah.
So you won't ever see us on Zoom again.
Okay. Unless we have a guest.
Unless it's for like a guest, or unless we want
out of town guest.
Put stream together, or
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. Well, we won't talk more about it.
But yeah. So there's that. And basically, I want to speak to a bit of the rebrand, just for those that are still watching, guys. We've been talking about this nonstop, and I really love, like my group here, like what we've become as Unavailable. Like we've become a little bit of like a cohesive unit as far as like what we want to see through the show, and it's really been interesting to talk about that, because, in the beginning, I would say, I don't know if we were on different pages at all, but like we definitely probably had like different like views of like what this looked like, because we didn't know what this looked like yet, right? And then we've been doing this for like 10 months, 11 months before I even bring this up. And only to find out that they're like on the same exact page as me. I asked them, like, what does this brand, what does Not Unavailable look like to you guys? What is this supposed to be a year from now, if we're coming up on a year? And we all were saying the same things. And I was like, this is supposed to be bigger than just three friends talking about music and entertainment and pop culture. That's fun, but that's not the only thing we're supposed to be doing.
But we'll be delivering more.
We'll be delivering more. And I think the last thing I want to say on this is just like the idea here. Can I talk about like what the idea is, or no?
Yeah. Which idea like?
Just basically like what is the kind of evolution? Like, okay, the evolution of Not Unavailable looks like this. Fuck, it might give away a bit.
No, then just don't. Let's wrap it up. Honestly, I feel like this is a great place to just like wrap up the stream in general. I know he had other stuff planned, but I feel like this announcement and everything is just a good place to call it. Like,
the reason why I'm wrapping it up is because if I say exactly what it is, it's gonna give it away, and I'm more excited to show versus tell. I think I've learned that this past year and a half. I really like showing and doing versus talking about it, because I talked about things and my ideas for way too long, and I feel like just put them out there and then let the people.
You guys will see it.
Is there a way to give the people like a preface though?
Nope. And I feel like we did.
Yeah. Okay. Something new's coming. That's all they need to know.
Stop, Tim. Because I feel like if we go any deeper, then it's gonna give away the thing that we can. We're rolling things out.
There's a rollout. We love a good rollout.
We love a good rollout here on Not Available, and with that, we'll let it rock. Right. But Yeah, let's close it out. Let's close it out. We had topics that we'll get to. We have things. We have videos coming up.
Yeah, there will be the things we
You'll
didn't
see
want
us.
to talk about. If we want to talk about them that badly, you'll see them, just not in a weekly live format. So don't worry.
And listen, all that is coming back before the year's over, and I would say in October you will see content. Like you will see something. Yes, right. Like I can say that you will see content in October, and we will be coming back in some type of form similar to this soon enough.
So
let's close it out.
Yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you all have a good night. Make sure you stay safe. Go do something fun. Go get a little lit. Marcus, where can the people find us?
I said it before, at Not Available on Twitter, at Not Available on TikTok, search Not Available on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, that's whatever. It's fine. Not Available. Just search it.
Yeah, it's everywhere. DJ?
And here, you guys, 1 year anniversary. Here is your annual kiss on the cheek. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening and have a great Labor Day weekend. I'm so excited to see you guys when we come back and we are one again. It'll be a fantastic month off, but we'll see how we come back and we'll be better than ever, guys. It's been a pleasure sharing this time with you guys and everybody who's watching.
Yes, so long.
Talking about mine. Sharing all these are the 6.7, handing out .7s to my dead homie mothers, praying they feel better. Might get chip, minding my business. Might get a chip, sharing my vision. Mine as well, can't tell if it's even worth conversation. Get a bread, do it even work. All that's for real is forever. Moments stolen taste better. Guess I've been used to being used like this.